So I moved to New York.
Yeah, so whoever's behind the Wikitubia page, you can change it.
That's right, the worst kept secret in the world. I mean, I was literally posting like videos of me on the New York subway like every day. So if you were following me on Instagram and you recognize that train, I mean, yeah, you probably already knew. I also mentioned it a couple times on my Twitch, maybe once on Twitter, but I never mentioned it on YouTube because I kind of wanted it to be like this kind of reveal. I was gonna say something once I was settled, once my entire like place was like done. It's still not done, but it is March, so I just felt like this was about the right time. But still, people in the comments did figure out that it was New York without even me saying anything, because again, I'm the worst secret keeper. But a lot of these comments would say stuff like, oh, look how far he's come. And honestly, life has gone by so quickly over the last 2 years. I feel like I've done so much and not really been able to fully reflect on it, to fully wrap my head around it, I guess. But when I read those comments, it really made me just like freeze time for a second and really think about, yeah, it's been a really crazy journey, man. I made this channel 4 years ago with the sole purpose of really just having a Colorado promposal, and that was about it. Over time, I had other ideas of kind of replicating these types of videos from YouTubers like JR Ali, who I've now been honored to even just like have calls with as of late. And then once college hit, I had basically run away from all my problems. I'll probably talk about that on the second channel one day. And because of that, I was now 2,000 miles away from all of my friends, and I really didn't have the social skills to make new ones. So I was really lonely during those like 2 months. And in those 2 months, I just said, hey, let's just make YouTube videos for the fun of it again. And that's when I just started making career mode content. And I mean, now I'm in New York. It's insane, man. If you had told me on the verge of actually putting an end to it, that in 5 years, 6 years time, that I would be moving to New York City to live the dream that I've had since I was 8 years old, I mean, that would have probably drove me over the edge. Over the last 2 years, the channel has been kind of put on the back burner. Nikki reference. This was mainly because after my first ever trip to New York City when I visited Zealand in 2022 for the World Cup, I remember feeling so out of my element. I mean, like I was having trouble with like the most basic things, walking around the city, taking the subway and everything like that. And it was at that time that I realized that I wanted to prioritize just growing as a person, improving my social skills, and just self-love in general. And listen, I still have a long way to go with social anxiety especially, but I am most definitely in a better spot than I was before. But because I prioritized that over the channel, again, I just didn't put all my energy into it, and you could tell. I mean, everyone could tell. I was just throwing videos to an editor and then calling it a day. And what I realized over time when I did that was, you know, it saved me a ton of time, but it also made me feel kind of distant from the channel. I didn't really feel like a part of the channel as I used to. So now that I've moved out of the suburbs where nothing happens to a city where everything happens, now I actually feel like I can consistently focus on the channel while also working on myself because I don't have to fly across the world to do so. I'll talk more about the future of the videos coming up this year, but before we do that, I want to talk more about probably one of the biggest things that I should have worked on, should have capitalized on. Sounds kind of weird to say that, but really should have just interacted more with, and that's the community. Not to brush my ego, but I feel like I've built a pretty awesome community, if I'm being honest. And the thing is, it just kind of happened, you know? I didn't really think too much of it. I didn't really like manufacture anything. It just all came natural. What I mean is like when you go into the YouTube comments, you see Maqwell gay is like the top comment on the last like 3 videos, or just like all the clips or memes and inside jokes that we create. And I really do find a lot of this stuff humorous. And I've always thought of finding a way to, I don't know, have more of them, have more of the memes and everything, because, you know, it's only a very small part of the community, and I feel like there's definitely more out there. But I never really knew where to start. I also felt like it was a bit of an ego thing if I did even do something like that. But now I kind of think it's a bit of an ego thing to just say like, oh, I'll just naturally let this happen. almost kind of like an arrogance.
Alright, so this next part I didn't really explain that well, mainly because I hadn't created it yet. So here is a new subreddit I've created, where hopefully every month I'll make a video where I basically go onto the subreddit and showcase the best memes, clips, and all that kind of stuff. I'm sure you've seen videos like this before, and a good reason why people do this is just because it's a good way to have a video that directly interacts with the community, which again is what I'm trying to focus with on this channel going forward. So here's the Reddit. It is called r/RedditWell. You can also suggest me video topics on this subreddit, so if there's something that might be flying under the radar in the footballing world or wherever, just make a post, put the video suggestions flare on it, and you'll be good to go. And who knows, maybe I'll make a video about it. So yeah, I think this is just a pretty exciting project, and I cannot wait to see what you guys make out of my expense.
Also, I think the food segment's really cool and everything, but it gets a little out of hand sometimes just because I'm getting submissions as I'm editing videos. So also what I'm thinking of doing is making a video once a month of that as well, so it's just easier for people to consume, and also it doesn't really just like disrupt the main videos. Again, I really do enjoy interacting with the community. I find it kind of difficult sometimes just because I'm not the most creative person. So if you have any other suggestions, please, by all means, let me know. Alright, back to the video production. I want to take this to the next level, especially since recently I was just diagnosed with ADHD, so now I'm on Adderall, and now I can actually manage my time a little bit better. One thing I want to do is I want to be more consistent with the video essays, and what that means also is that I'm gonna have to outsource some of the main videos to other editors. I'm gonna find editors that have the same style, so don't worry, nothing's gonna change there. But just know, even though I would love to edit every single video because I'm just like one of those psychopaths that likes to do that, the only way that's gonna happen is if I outsource my current load right now, which is like everything. The last 2 months, I have been editing every single video of mine. But going more in depth with the video essays, I already talked about this before, and I don't think I really thought this out well, but as you've seen throughout the history of the Maqwell channel video essays, they've gone from 8 minutes all the way to an hour and 30. And an hour and 30 is just not sustainable right now. I've recently come to terms with the fact that if I want to do this consistently, like once every month, I cannot have every single detail be included in a video. And that's something I struggle with a lot because I like to add those different things. I like the details. But right now, it just shouldn't be the main focus. If everything becomes more successful, then yeah, maybe we can do more of those projects.
I might as well announce the first video essay of the year, and this is something that I have wanted to do for a long time, and it is about Italy's last 2 World Cup qualification campaigns. You know, the ones where they failed to make it. I know some people are gonna ask, oh, Maxwell, where's the China video essay that you promised like 2 years ago? Or Arsenal Legacy of Failures? Listen, these are still ideas I want to do, but again, they're just gonna be videos that are much longer, and right now, I just can't do them. So to confirm, the next video essay will be about Italy's last 2 World Cup qualification campaigns. Italians, I hope you're ready.
Maybe as well, I can actually get the second channel to be a little bit more consistent. My problem was always the fact that I would literally forget what I said like 2 seconds after saying it, and it just kind of became frustrating. But I feel like Adderall has kind of helped that, so, you know, I'd love to answer some more questions and also tell more stories. Nothing that crazy, just like a little personal project of mine. Since moving to New York City, it's just been a very big boost of motivation for me. I needed this change of scenery. I felt like I kind of had ran into like a little plateau when I was back home. There's nothing to do other than make videos. But now here, it's like there's so many things happening. It only motivates me to do more, so I can experience more of that. There's also so many creators out here, there's a football scene out here. There's just a lot of opportunities. And for me, I don't know how I'm gonna tackle any of them, but that excitement right now is enough to really get me cooking again, I guess. But again, and I know this is like very cliche for literally any YouTuber to say this, but I really do mean this from the bottom of my heart because, again, this is something that I've wanted to do for over half of my life, and it's because of you guys, all this support, and everything along with that, that I am able to make this happen. I've been able to do this, I've been able to travel the world. You have made me live dreams that I never thought possible. I never even thought New York ever was possible. I would see this place in movies and just think to myself, damn, that's a cool city. But I never saw myself actually like being here. So really, again, a massive thank you to you guys. Now I know some of my promises haven't been kept, but I feel more confident this time around because as opposed to last year and the previous year, I was always traveling everywhere, always going distances every other weekend or every other month. And so for me, throughout like half of the year really, I would just be trying to make videos right before I would fly out. So it just didn't really have all my attention and effort into them. And also because I was rushing, I couldn't do other like bigger projects like the video essays because I just never had time for them. But now that I'm in New York City, I'm in a much more stable environment, you know? I'm not gonna be traveling all across the world because my rent's just not gonna allow it. Okay, quick interjection. Next week I'm going to Tokyo. To be fair though, this trip is being paid by the Tokyo Dome because I'm doing a collaboration with them for the next like week or so. So I might as well just throw this out. You guys can follow my Instagram and follow the Tokyo Dome's Instagram displayed here. And in the next week or so, we will be doing a hotel stay giveaway. And also maybe, just maybe, we'll be giving away this shirt. I mean, look, it's fucking beautiful. Anyways. And I don't have to travel 2 hours away to go see some of my closest friends. They are here within like 30 minutes. So now I can actually focus most of my attention on the channel, growing it more, growing this community, and interacting with you guys way more than before. So, 2025. It's gonna be a year of struggles, but also a year of a lot of excitement. So, let's get to work, shall we?